Me, MFA Akosia Adeti, we're coming to you live from our studios here in Kokolumlimle, also live on DSTV channel 421, Go TV channel 125. In our headlines today, CLOSSAG to strike from Thursday and demand implementation of new salary structure. 34,000 new HIV infections per Ghana Health Service recent report. Would hear from the Director General of AIDS Commission. We'll also bring you updates from the campaign trails where the NPP's presidential candidate, Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia, has reiterated his quest to eradicate corruption with digitalization in the next NPP government. In our latest episode of Climate Focus series, we'll tell you how a fire mapping technology in Ghana is transforming wildlife response and safeguarding our environment. Please stay for details. Welcome back to JoyNews Today. Now, in our first story, the Civil and Local Government Staff Association Ghana, CLOSSAG, says it will lay down its tools from Thursday, November 7th, 2024. The group is protesting prolonged delay in finalizing a salary structure for the staff. Let's speak to Executive Secretary of the National Labour Commission, Ofuswa Samwa, on this. Hello, good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. And if you can hear me, I'd like to know how far and how much consultation has gone into their declaration of strike on Thursday, tomorrow precisely. We're trying to get on the line with National Labour Commission on this, but before that, we also want to engage with Labour consultant Austin Gami, first of all, before we go back to the NLC. Hello, good afternoon, sir, and thank you for joining us. I know that you have been speaking a lot on recent strike, and even in April, you mentioned that government should really consult. But tomorrow, CLOSSAG has declared that tomorrow they are going on the strike. How far do you think the strike can go a long way to compel government to resolve the issues?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm not too sure whether employers generally, Ghana, including government as employer, are keen in getting labor together for them to have an agreement on how they should manage their salary administration. This thing has lingered for too many years, and it's about time it should be put to rest. I think that we have a traditionally an old notches structure that fit between the various unions, including CLOSSAG and the employer, which is called government. Now, going to Labour Commission is not having the expertise per se in designing and making a structure for them. They can only encourage them to go and sit down to discuss and reach agreement and report back to them. That is about what they can do. They are not supposed to be the ones, designing a structure and ensuring that people are paid. What I would like to, because therefore it's just a waste of time. They are just to help you by asking you, don't go on strike, go and sit down and talk. That is not a solution. So I suggest, if Fair Wages and Salaries Commission are not having the capacity, nothing stops them, or the employer, nothing stops them from engaging the services of an expert. Right. Or those who can assist them. Based upon our labor law, they can design a structure that should pay people based on productivity. Well, that is the desire of every employer.
Mr. Game, so you realize that CLOSSAG has said that they are not going to engage with the fair wages and salary anymore on this issue. They're determined to go on strike. If I understand you, do you think that this strike that they're intending to strike from tomorrow would yield any teeny tiny result at all?
Well, as for not engaging them, maybe from experience, it's because sometimes the fair wages do not have the mandate per se. The mandate resides in either the Ministry of Finance and in collaboration with Ministry of Employment and Labor Relations. So maybe that is their fear. It might be a genuine fear. Okay. But I will urge them to go and sit with the body that is mandated and the Ministry of Finance. Maybe that's the kind of directive Labour Commission can give. That look, Ministry of Finance, you are the one holding the mandate, and together with Labour, get together with fair wages to enable you to sit around a table and have the discussion. And if you have difficulties, get back to us so we can assist you. What normally should be done is to get somebody to facilitate this process.
Okay.
It's doable. And I want to urge them to get together and talk about it, because a strike can be very devastating and it's not in the best interest of anybody. So I think they should get together and be able to discuss it. If there are difficulties, they should look for help.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ostengame. Thank you for talking to us. We're unable to talk to the NLC, but if we're able to talk to them, we definitely will bring you updates. But moving away from this, Ghana recorded 34,000 new HIV infections from January to the third quarter of 2024. That's according to the statistics from the National HIV and AIDS Control Program of the Ghana Health Service. Authorities are emphasizing the importance of public testing and screening, revealing that approximately 1.3 million people were screened during this period. Let's explore this further with Dr. Etiahene Chirma, and he's the Director General of Ghana AIDS Commission. Good afternoon, sir, and thank you for joining us. This is quite a number. We were of the view that we're making progress, but out of 1.3 million, this is the number that tested positive. Are you able to tell us how we arrived at this number, and what are we not doing right as a country?
Yeah, thank you. MFA, the name is Chireme Etiahene, not Chirema, Chireme.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for this opportunity. Yes, the HIV is still a major public health issue in the country. In the first 9 months of this year, more than 1 million people tested for HIV. And of that number, more than 34,000 people tested positive for HIV. And so this is about diagnosis of HIV during the 9-month period. So we know that the number of people who tested, at least we have 34,000 of them living with HIV. Now, as you are aware, by our target, by the end of 2025, we should diagnose at least 95% of people living with HIV in the country. And currently, we've been able to diagnose 65%, which translates into 218,000 people out of the 334,000 people living with HIV in the country. And so there are more than about 115,000 people who live with HIV have not been diagnosed. And so, being able to diagnose 34,000 of them, 34,000 of the 116,000, for me, it's progress, and that means we need to find the rest so that they can be diagnosed and put on antiretroviral treatment immediately so that they can achieve viral suppression and remain healthy, active, and productive, and also won't not be able to transmit the virus to the apartment.
Okay, Doc, so does this suggest that this 34,000 number are on the antiretroviral already?
Some might be. I don't have that information, but definitely I expect that majority of them should be on treatment by now.
Also, the self-testing approach, is it helping in any way at all?
Yes, self-testing is helping, but we don't have enough test kits. And so we encourage people to use the self-test kit if available. And they can also access, self-test kits from some of the pharmacy shops and in the pharmacy shops, I think you have to part with some little money to be able to get the test kit.
Doc, also earlier this year, we read in reports that we had a lot of antiretroviral medications stuck at the ports. Would you say that we have enough antiretroviral medications now currently available for persons living with the virus?
Yes. It is the responsibility of government and its partners to ensure that we have enough antiretroviral medicines for the people who live with HIV in the country. Currently, we don't have any stock up at the port. All of them have gone to the health facilities and the storage facilities across the country. We do not anticipate stock out in the immediate future. And so we have enough drugs for everybody at the moment.
Thank you so much, Dr. Cherme Etiahene, for talking to us. Now, moving away from that story, this is your election headquarters. Now, let's bring you some stories on the Electoral Commission. The Electoral Commission is contracting collation officials to assist in compiling elections results for this year's election. The process, which was abandoned after its adoption in 2016, is being reinstated to enhance the transparency and credibility of the election. Director General of the Electoral Commission, Ashanti Region, Francis Osei-Insia, says persons with expertise in modern technology in data collection are employed for the purpose. Nanaya Ojima filed this report.
Returning officers for constituencies are often engaged for collation of election results. For the Electoral Commission, these officers have proven effective, but they are burdened by their roles on election day. Per the system to be used this year, the collation officers will only be present at the centers for the data collation after voting is closed. Director of Electoral Commission in Ashanti Region, Francis Osei-Insia, explains the order.
2016 we tried, 2020 we didn't know why we didn't do it, but this time we brought it back. That's we want to use collation officials. So somebody, yesterday we interviewed them, and we have statisticians, a whole doctor of from UK UNSC, the head of the statistical department, is coming to do it for us. Then think that if this man calculates, who am I to say he has got it wrong? People who can combine S and Y, letters and figures to give you correct answer. So we have employed those people. So on that day, they will be collecting the results for us. They will not go to the field. Their work is come and collect. And we know that their background, they are people who work with data, not anybody at all. At least some of them are mathematicians by the highest qualification. And they are, working with figures. They are lecturers, they are masters in secondary schools. They are going to collect the results for us. Then at the regional level, on the constituency level here, before we send the one figure to Accra for presidential, they will know that at least we are going with accurate, the word is accurate figure.
The training brought together selected journalists from parts of the Ashanti region who were taken through rudiments of election reporting, emphasizing the need for fair reportage. Meanwhile, the National Media Commission is anticipating professionalism of the media in the upcoming election to safeguard the country's peace. Yaobodu Ayeboafo is chairman of the NMC.
Let us know that we have a responsibility, we have an obligation to ensure that even when people are very angry, we soothe their anger. Because sometimes it is when the person says it, it doesn't make an impact as when we replicate the same commentary on the radio, television, or when people read it in the newspaper. More important, We know the environment, the time that we are living in, where people can fake people, and it will be difficult for people to recognize that this is fake.
For Joy News, Nana Ochima, Kumasi.
The NDC's presidential candidate, John Mahama, is urging residents of Gwan constituency in the Oti region to punish the governing NPP for denying them a representation in Parliament. Addressing a rally on the last day of his tour of the region, he said a future NDC government's agro-processing zones in the region will boost the agriculture sector and create jobs. Now, still on the NDC, Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Johnson Esiedun-Ketia, says it will be in the interest of the NPP supporters for the governing party to exit power. He contends the new patriotic party will need to be out of government to allow an internal overhaul in what he describes as hijacking of NPP from its base in the Ashanti region. Nana Ojima again has the report.
The NDC chairman has been meeting the electorate in some constituencies of the Ashanti region in smaller groupings, a strategy he terms as a retail campaign. According to Johnson Esiedun-Ketia, the governing NPP, which has the Ashanti region as the stronghold, has failed to provide the social goods as achieved by the previous NDC administration. He believes it will be in the interest of NPP supporters for the party to leave the government for its internal overhaul.
Ashanti region. Our party no kura Ashanti for kofa bae.
Nana Akufo-Addo and his government has destroyed the NPP built by the Ashantis. If there is no conviction to vote John Mahama into office and gets the chance to restructure the party, then we don't know how to deal with you again. It is in the interest of the NPP to lose the election and get the opportunity to rebuild the party. This is not the NPP we know. It is not the party that has been supported by the Ashantis.
Because the NPP no tiano, and yes, and I am saying NPP.
The NDC has noticed a creeping apathy towards the upcoming election from voters in the Ashanti region. They believe the present situation is an indication of NDC's return, as the party chairman tags such people as persons disappointed in the governing party.
A lot of people have decided not to vote in the election. They claim both the NPP and NDC are the same. They won't vote again. If you hear people speak like that, it means they have been disappointed. They don't have the courage to open up about voting NDC. If you hear people speak like that, go close to them and convince them to vote the NDC. Let them know the best thing to do is to vote out the present government.
For Joy News, Nana Ojima, Kumasi.
Hi, Nanaya. So give me an update on Esiedun-Ketia's tour in the Ashanti region.
Of the NDC is in his final day of the tour to the Ashanti region. Today, he's visiting the Achuma Konya constituency, Achuma Nwabeja North constituency, and Achuma Nwabeja South constituency. So he will make stops at 5 different communities in these constituencies. What basically he is telling the people of the Ashanti region is that it's about time that the region votes the NDC into power, because according to him, the NDC has done more for the people of the Ashanti region than the NPP, even though the region is not the NDC stronghold. So he thinks that it's about time that the people of the region think about development and vote in the NDC. Also, he's been explaining some policies of the NDC to the constituents. Especially, he's been talking about the plan of the NDC to ensure that there's a transformation in the education sector, particularly a free senior high school is among the areas that the NDC hopes to improve. And also, he's been talking about how agri is going to fester under an NDC government. So Mr. Esedun Ketia basically is going into the communities and telling the people of the region about the NDC's policies that they intend to use in transforming the country.
Nanaya, also tell me, obviously the Ashanti region is a stronghold of the NPP. What has been the response so far for the NDC over there?
So far, wherever the chairman of the NDC has been in the Ashanti region, the people within these communities have opened up to him and met him in tears. And they all receive the message that he's bringing to them very well. It looks like the region has been very receptive to the NDC in this election.
Thank you so much, Nanaya Ojima, joining us on phone and bringing us updates from the NDC in the Ashanti region. Our political parties in Ghana are reading meanings into what's happening in the U.S. presidential elections. Donald Trump is currently leading the polls, marking a return to the White House, a situation the opposition National Democratic Congress says augurs well for their candidate, John Mahama. Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer is the Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the National Democratic Congress, and he spoke on Newsdesk earlier.
You see, the NDC is much committed to peace in this country than the MPP and all their rank and file. They are not serious when it comes to peace in this country. They are not committed.
Will you sign the peace pact?
I'm just giving you a preamble. Last week, our flag bearer had to cut short his campaign and flew back to Accra to attend a peace summit. Where was their presidential candidate? Where was the president himself? They should stop rhetoric. Look, we are not in the era of confident tricksters. They are tricking everybody in Ghana. And the media should have asked him that question. Where was their president, the sitting president, and then their presidential candidate when an all-important peace summit was held in Accra?
We know that John Dramani Mahama has committed to peace.
And
however,
that's what I'm saying.
The
so
question now is, will you sign a peace pact, the NDC, as a political party?
Well, we are saying that we gave a parameters upon which we can sign the peace pact, and it's very clear. We want a full commitment from the implementers of the peace pact that we will sign this and they will do what they did in 2020.
Also, the NPP's Director of Research and Elections, Evans Nemaku, says the party is unfazed by the results.
Issues were engaged in the minds of the voters in America. They were looking at the economy, they were looking at border issues, they were looking at abortion issues and all that. Here in Ghana, yes, economy is key. And I think Tanko, wherever he is enjoying electricity. And we are not underdoing so. We've gone beyond the era of Akadumpe and the era of Akoko Kitenkete. We are in serious business engaging with critical policy issues.
Let's go on the phone and talk to Clinton Yeboah, who is in Kumasi, bringing us reactions in Kumasi, especially on the U.S. elections. Hi, Clinton. Good afternoon. Hello, Clinton. If you can hear me, please bring me an update on the reactions of residents in Kumasi, especially on the U.S. elections. I'll try again. Clinton. Okay. Well, let's see if we can get Clinton back. But as you know, at this time, CNN already gave a projection that Donald Trump has won the elections, and if not, already declared. But let's try again. Clinton, good afternoon. If you can hear me, I'd like to know the reactions of residents in Kumasi.
All right, MF, I can hear you clearly.
Perfect.
And the reaction from Kumasi is quite diverse because one part believes that this is something that they saw coming. This is something that they already knew. Their researches and the projections that were given by several, credible analytical institutions. And also, per their own researchers, they think that Harris had an edge over Trump. So it's something that they were looking forward to. But there's also the other aspect of people who say that this is actually a shock to them when they look at, they assess the debates that they had, and looking at all the craze and facts about the things that Harris and the team were bringing out. They were very hopeful that it's possible that Harris could carry out the bid. So waking up to a Trump victory this morning was something that was very shocking to them. And there is an aspect of people who believe that the backing or the bearings of the things that American people based on to vote for Trump somehow has similarities with the current situations in Ghana. For example, when you are talking about the economy, if American people voted based on the economy so much, it is very likely that Ghanaians here would also, based on the economy, to vote for the former President John Mahama, who can be likened currently to Donald Trump. And for the NPP, people who share NPP sentiments are also saying that this would not have any direct impact on them, since these parties have differences. There are things that the NPP can boast of currently in the administration that probably their sister party or their likened counterpart in the U.S. couldn't boast of, which is why they have lost the election. But for them, they are very firm that they could boast on and, based on certain things to win the elections. So the reaction in Kumasi has been quite one that is very, very different. And, yeah, it's shocking people, and people are also not really shocked about it.
Interesting. Thank you so much, Clinton Yobana. Moving on, presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, is assuring Ghanaians that his government will not tolerate bribery and corruption, touting the NDC's efforts in using digitalization to fight the menace. Speaking at a stakeholders' engagement in Efija-Setre East constituency, Dr. Bawumia said the NPP government has made significant progress in the fight against corruption. Let's talk to Nana Boachi Iyadom, who is with the NPP's flag bearer and joins us. Hi, Nana Boachi, good afternoon.
It's the third day of the tour for the New Patriotic Party's flag bearer, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. He has been to about 6 constituencies so far since he began the tour of the Ashanti region. And Setre East constituency happens to be the 7th constituency that the Vice President has toured so far in the Ashanti region. Today he will be visiting 3 constituencies, moving right away from Efija-Setre East. The Vice President will be going to Kwabri East constituency. We are currently live at Wiamuasi here at the Efija-Setre East constituency. Clergy, traditional leaders, opinion and stakeholders in the constituency. Well, the message of the Vice President earlier today Vice President said that the Kafado government has been able to curb corruption in a way that has cleared ghost names from the payroll of SNIT, with about 29,000 names being cleared from the payroll of SNIT so far. And the Vice President has said that with regards to what they have done so far using digitalization and the invention of the Ghana card, anything of that sort being called ghost name is something of the past. And he intends to do much more if elected President of the Republic in December 7th. The Vice President has touched on a lot of things, but if I must say that he is going to visit all the 47 constituencies in the Ashanti region. From Wiamuasi here at Efija-Setre East constituency, he'll be going to Kwabri East and then wrap up the day at Menchia North constituency. The Vice President is expected to break today and also move to the Greater Accra region tomorrow to launch one thing that he has really been touting, that is the credit scoring system. And so tomorrow the Vice President will be in Accra to launch the credit score system. He has been saying it throughout his campaign tour of the Ashanti region, and he said that the people of the region and everyone across the country should expect him launch the credit score system. He has also been talking about the Buy Ghana First policy. He has been talking about his intention to make sure that anything with regards to LGBTQ does not take place if elected president. His decision or his intention to curb illegal mining is also on top of its policies, with the introduction of several measures which will make sure that there's a proper licensing measures being put in place to make sure that people do not destroy our forest reserves and our water bodies. These are some of the things that the Vice President has been saying, but he would not swipe away from moving on or criticizing his opponent, John Dramani Mahama, who he says has just 4 years if elected president to run the country, which he says that it's not going to be possible because he's not going to hold the country to account, or will not be able to hold him account. So the former president should not be allowed closer to the presidency. These are some of the things that the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has been touching on as he goes around the country and ends up in the Ashanti region. He has been to 15 regions so far. The Ashanti region happens to be the 16th region that the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, is visiting so far. So MFA, you can see the number of people here, a lot of them, crowd moving in to listen to the message of the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, here at the Frida Seche East constituency.
Welcome back, and let's bring you some climate-focused stories. Well, tracking and measuring fires is essential to reducing their impact on the environmental. All environmental wildfire greatly influence climate change and atmospheric emissions, making real-time monitoring crucial. Thanks to Earth observation data and advanced cloud computing, the Earth Observation Research and Innovation Center at the University of Energy and Natural Resources has developed a powerful fire mapping tool, delivering fast, detailed, and reliable information for wildfire response. Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin has more on today's Climate Focus series.
This room, the Yorick Lab, we have the servers and then the processing desktops that process the satellite data that is received, as well as archive it over here. And so essentially, the desktops that are processing, the servers that send information to the ground stations outside to move whenever there's a pass are all in here.
This is the control room where a team of engineers and scientists collect and analyze satellite data. The system enables them to track satellite data products in real time for several applications such as land use, wildfire monitoring, weather forecasting, and climate modeling, among others.
The Earth Observation Research and Innovation
Engineer Ekose is the ground systems manager.
So the Earth Observing System affords us with satellite information data that helps us to detect fire hotspots in Ghana and in West Africa. The information is fed into an advanced virtual fire information system, which is an ICC-based information, to alert farmers and then other stakeholders about areas where fire is of high risk and where fires are currently occurring. We do this in near real time, as and when there's a satellite pass over the system.
But if I scroll in, we have one here in Kumasi. We are yet to investigate and see exactly where it is. But there's one fire around here. But generally, we seem to be experiencing some rains, and so that's why we probably don't have too many fires being recorded over Ghana, but you can see some fires recorded around Nigeria, Burkina, and the Niger area. So even though the EOS is located here in Sunyani, the combined SWAT area covers for the whole of West Africa, some part of East Africa, and then North Africa as well. And so you can see the fire hotspot distribution in the East African corridor. So Guinea-Bissau, Guinea, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Togo, Benin, Nigeria, Cameroon, Niger, Mali, South Sudan, Cameroon, etc.
The Earth observation system is about 10 steps outside the strong room. It is Ghana's only provider of near real-time Earth observation satellite data.
Some of the satellites that we receive or track information from include the NASA Aqua, NASA Terra, Suomi MPP, JPSS, NOAA 18 and 19, METOP A, METOP B. So even though we have this infrastructure located here installed in Sunyani, the combined SWAT area for the satellite data products covers the whole of West Africa, some portions of East Africa, and then Northern Africa as well. This infrastructure is currently the only one in Ghana serving this purpose and providing Earth observation-related satellite data products in Ghana.
The center employs Earth observation data and GIS technology to do collaborative research in the areas of water, disaster, health, energy, climate, ecology, and biodiversity.
This ground station behind me collects data for weather forecasting, surface weather analysis, climate modeling, among others. It forms part of 10 Cosmic 2 projects across the world, the only one in West Africa and 2 in Africa. The other one can be found in Mauritius. It helps in data analysis for decision-making processes, not only in Ghana, but also in Africa and across the world.
The ground station we have is a critical infrastructure in the space industry.
The ground station, which is different from the Earth observation system, was installed in 2017 through a co-location service agreement as a partnership between the University of Energy and Natural Resources and Atlas Space Operation Inc., a satellite teleport operator from the USA.
So Yorick Une, in partnership with the Atlas Space Operations, installs and maintains the ground station that supports and provides satellite data for the Cosmic 2 program. The Cosmic 2 program is led by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration of the US and Taiwan's National Space Organization. This infrastructure forms part of 10 similar ground stations scattered in the equatorial region for the Cosmic 2 program. The satellite data received from this system is helping to improve on numerical weather prediction as well as space weather analysis.
Cosmic 2 receives data and routes it through a network of downlink stations for processing. This network ensures that data products are available for use in numerical weather prediction and space weather analysis in near real time. A report by Mohamed Nuruddin.
You're watching Joy News Today. We're back shortly with business. Please stay.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the business segment on Joy News Today with me, Pius Kojobaka. Inflation for the month of October 2024 has increased marginally to 22.1% from the 21.5% recorded in September 2024. According to the Ghana Statistical Service, food and non-food inflation went up by 22.8% and 21.5% respectively. Here is government statistician Professor Samuel Kobneni.
In the month of October 2024, food inflation stood at 22.8%. And again, consistent with overall rate of inflation, this is the second successive month that we've seen an increase in overall food inflation, as it increased from 19.1% to 22.1%, a 3.0 percentage point difference between August and September 2024, and has further increased by 0.7 percentage points between September and October 2024. In the case of non-food inflation, we're seeing non-food inflation in the last 4 months hovering between 20.5 percentage point and 21.5 percentage point. In the month of July 2024, non-food inflation was 20.5%, increased to 21.5% in August 2024, dipped by 0.6 percentage point in September 2024, and has seen a return to 21.5% for October 2024. Food and non-food inflation on a month-on-month basis, we see significant variations for food inflation on a month-on-month basis relative to non-food inflation. In the month of June 2024, monthly food inflation stood at 5.1%. This significantly dropped to 2.2% deflation in August 2024, went up to 4.2% in September 2024, and in the month of October 2024, we've seen a dip of 3.9 percentage points between September and October 2024, with the October month-on-month food inflation recording 0.3%.
And there'll be more on that subsequently on the marketplace. Now, over 90,000 young seamstresses are to receive skills training and other relevant developmental resources following the signing of a 4-year MOU between the Ghana National Tailors and Dressmakers Association and Springboard Roadshow Foundation. There is more in this report.
The Ghana Grows program is a collaboration between the MasterCard Foundation and Springboard Roadshow Foundation, aimed at affording the youth job opportunities across various sectors of the economy. The initiative seeks to empower people from the ages of 15 to 35, especially women and persons with disabilities, in the agribusiness and the agricultural, technical, vocational education and training sectors. The 4-year partnership between the foundation and the Ghana National Tailors and Dressmakers Association is targeting 90,000 tailors and dressmakers across the country in the next 4 years of the deal. It aims to equip current and prospective members of the GNTDA, empowering them to become more productive and resourceful individuals. The effort focuses on inspiring young GNTDA apprentices and mastercraft persons to recognize the potential for growth and innovation within Ghana's TVET industry. Comfort Okran is the executive director of the Springboard Roadshow Foundation.
There's opportunity in the extended value chain. The opportunity exists when you are aware of it. Sometimes you just know one small part. But when we have this MOU, they will all be onboarded onto the Ghana Grows program. And then we'll do a needs assessment as to what kind of training opportunities or what kind of training, soft skills especially, that they would need. And based on that, we would roll out programs or learning programs, mentoring programs, resilience programs, because we have the opportunity of working with the Ghana Psychological Association, and that partnership helps us support young persons, especially when they are facing challenging circumstances and they don't know what to do in this space. Therefore, if you are a GNTDA member and you've been enrolled onto the Ghana Grows program, it's very easy for us to support you in different aspects or to guide you in different aspects of your life.
National President of GNTDA, Joanna Ishan Mensah, encouraged members of the association to take advantage of the support from the foundation.
That's all for business for now. That will be at 1 p.m. with the marketplace. Sports is next.
News today. Hi, I'm Muftau Nabila Abdullah. Ghana's Armed Forces is preparing for this month's Africa Military Games that will be taking place in Abuja. The competition, which is starting on November 18, is expected to be a competition that will serve as preparations and participation for major armed forces, which will be from the rest of the continent. So there's more in this report as the Director of Training and PTA at the Ghana Armed Forces, Richard Akoto, has been speaking about why their participation in the Africa Athletics Championship is a major one. The security services, such as the Ghana Armed Forces, Ghana Immigration Service, Ghana Prison Service, Ghana Revenue Authority Customs Division, and the Ghana National Fire Service participated in the two-day event. The men competed in 15 events, while the women took part in 12 events. Ghana Armed Forces, preparing for the Africa Military Games in Abuja later this month, dominated the competition, scoring 327 points in the men's events, while the women scored 198 points. Colonel Richard Akoto, Director of Training and PTA of the Ghana Armed Forces, expressed his gratitude to the Ghana Athletics for giving them the platform to be able to prepare for the event.
It is not the CLOSSAG Games, it's the Ghana Athletics Association's Open Championship for Security Services, with the hope that with this, the CLOSSAG Games will come back. But it's exciting. Athletics is a very difficult sport. And when we are presented with these opportunities, we are very happy. And so far, we want to thank the Ghana Athletics Association for the collaboration and also thank the University of Ghana for giving out their facility for use. Well, for the Armed Forces, the ultimate goal is to get a very vibrant team that will represent Ghana Armed Forces in the coming African Military Games in Abuja from 18th to 30th of this month. We hope that by the time we finish, we'll have had our team set and we'll be ready to compete for Ghana Armed Forces. We want them to do well, and that is why we are very happy that these opportunities have been presented us. It is work in progress. At least this will be a major international competition, because the last time they held this was in the 70s. and for all African militaries coming together. We think it is a platform that our boys can showcase their talents and also make us proud.
President of Ghana Athletics, Ba Fusene, believes the athletics governing body is gradually covering every facet of the Ghanaian community to have them embrace athletics.
They have honored our invitation graciously, and we are so thankful to the Ghana Armed Forces, Ghana Prison Service, Ghana Immigration Service, Customs for them participating in this event. It's the first step, but it's a very giant step that we have taken. Now we've effectively covered every aspect of Ghanaian sporting fraternity. We have the university games, we have the schools championship, we have the individual championship. We are going to have private school championship this month, and now we are having the security services championship. It means we are covering everybody. We are not leaving any stone unturned in our quest to build a formidable national team, give everybody the opportunity to be part of the Ghana Athletic family. And so it's a huge step that we've taken today. I'm just hoping and praying next time it will be bigger, more competitive, and all the services, including police service, will be among the participants.
He also expressed his gratitude to the security services for participating in the first Ghana Athletics Open Championship for Security Services.
The ultimate goal is to harness the sports potential in the security services, also to create more friendship among the security services, and to give them the opportunity to be part of the national team, even though some of them are, but not all of them, and above all, to rekindle the spirit of the sister championship. I was an athlete. I participated in the sister game. I love it. I enjoy it. So once I have the opportunity to try to revive it, why not? So the end game of this championship is to rekindle the spirit of the sister game among the security services, so that we'll have a full-blown security services games, including this championship, in the near future.
The military games will take place in Abuja from November 18 to November 30. That's your sports for now. We do have sports, more sports stories on myjoyonline.com. Up next is World News with MFA.
Thank you so much, Muftar. Time now for World News, and Elikem Adanse has a wrap of World News for today.
South Africa has closed one of its busiest border crossings with Mozambique following violent post-electoral protests in the neighboring country. The protests have led to deadly clashes in several cities following last month's disputed presidential election won by Mozambique's ruling Frelimo party. Authorities say there are reports of vehicles being torched on the Mozambican side of the Lembombo port of entry. Due to these security incidents and in the interest of public safety, the port has been temporarily closed until further notice, the South African Border Agency said. Civil servants caught having sex in their offices will face severe measures, the Vice President of Equatorial Guinea has warned after hundreds of allegedly pornographic videos were leaked to the public. The videos reportedly involve high-ranking civil servant Baltazar Ebang Ngonga having sex with various women, including the wives of prominent officials in his office. Mr. Ngonga is head of the country's National Financial Investigation Agency and also a relative of the country's president. He has not yet commented. Vice President of Equatorial Guinea said any officials found engaging in sex acts at the office would be suspended, as this was a flagrant violation of the Code of Conduct. He has also ordered the installation of surveillance cameras in courts and ministries to combat indecent and illicit acts.
Hello there, good afternoon. Welcome to the Showbiz segment with me, Jacqueline and Suma Yabwa. Now to our story for today. Gospel artist Empress Gifty isn't losing any sleep over fans saying she's sounding like Kwame Eugene on her latest track, Watch Me. In fact, she's all smiles and ready to prove that sometimes a little Eugene influence is exactly what the doctor ordered. We have more in this report.
A decade ago, Empress Gifty had everyone singing along to Asida, a song that cemented her place in Ghana's gospel scene. Fast forward to today, she's proven she can still keep us talking with Watch Me.
And then he said, Empress, I said, how are you? He said, oh, I'm fine. I said, I have something for you. I have a song for you. I said, what song? Because we're ready to release an album that is an EP.
Okay.
So I was like, a song? He said, yes, that's okay. I said, yeah, what's mommy? And then he sent me the song. And whilst I was listening to the song, at that moment, the things that I was going through, it was like he knows it and he has just composed everything through the song. So I started crying and I said, wow, this is a message for me and this is a message for the season. So now I called my manager and I said to them, we need to hold on for the album. I think we need to go for studio. We need to go and do this song. Okay. So I called Kwame and I said, I am interested. I love the song. The song is me. And then he said, Empress, the song chose you.
When asked if the song takes anything away from her industry, Empress stood firm.
Do you know something?
Tell me.
Because I recorded in Kwame Eugene's studio.
Okay.
And Kwame Eugene has everything. He has composed everything. He has the templates and everything when it comes to him.
Okay.
So I said, I don't want to sound the Empress.
Okay.
I want something different. So I did the back and I did everything because he directed me. Empress, go this way. Do it this way. I want it this way. And I was so much humble to learn from him. Because he carries something.
I think it doesn't take anything away from you, Empress Gifty.
Nothing. I am here. That is, watch me. You are watching me. I'm here talking about watch me. So it doesn't take anything.
From Asida to Watch Me, Empress Gifty has shown she's all about growth and reinvention.
Well, it's a wrap for the Showbiz segment with me, Jacqueline and Suma Yabwa. Over to you, MFR.
Thank you so much, Jacqueline. And look who is back to wrap up today with us with entertainment. Jacqueline, it's good to have you back. Thank you so much for joining us today on JoyNews Today. We definitely will bring you another one tomorrow. But time now for Marketplace. But for more news, please log on to myjoyonline.com.
I missed